Welcome back to the channel, everyone. ThoughtGore here, of course. And yeah, we are going to take a look at Armored Warfare today. Now, I know in the Hearts of Iron video I mentioned we probably wouldn't be taking a look at it because there's not a whole lot of people on the North American server. So not a whole lot of people who participate on the North American server, which makes playing PvP battles in this game non-existent, basically, on this server. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the issue is on the North American server, but I do definitely know on the European server, for example, they don't seem to be having the same sort of issues. But anyway, I thought we'd take a look at it because I had been playing a lot more Armored Warfare recently. I've been playing a lot of ships and whatnot, and I just get bored of ships, obviously. And it's not, that ships is a bad game or anything like that. Love ships. It's just doing the same thing over and over, day after day, right? Gets boring. So it's always nice to sort of jump over into Armored Warfare and just kick the living hell out of some of these computers. Because this is all PvE action. Whenever I tend to play Armored Warfare, it seems to be at the strangest hours, not at prime time. And it seems the queue has anywhere between 10 and 50 people in it. Yeah, those are the numbers you get to work with. PvP is basically non-existent. I mean, you can sit there and wait in the queue for a PvP battle. You can even time it specifically, so that you're on during prime time hours, which I believe is between about 8 p.m. Eastern to about 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern on Fridays and Saturdays. I think would be prime time. Not 100% sure on that, but I play at the crazy hours. Sometimes during the day, sometimes in the middle of the night. So whenever I happen to be playing, there's just not many people on, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. Still really enjoy it. Now, I started playing Armored Warfare way back when it was in the alpha testing. I wasn't in actual alpha testing, much like World of Warships. I was in the closed alpha weekend tests. Armored Warfare did a lot of them, and I was part of all of them from the beginning. Where I sort of fell out with Armored Warfare, nothing to do with Armored Warfare, the game developers, or anything like that. It was just simply, at the time, I think it was the third or fourth round of Alpha Weekend testing with Armored Warfare. At the same time, I got into the Alpha Weekend testing of ships. I have more of an interest, personally, in ships than I do in tanks, so I basically just stopped playing this and started playing ships non-stop. Coincidentally, too, at the same time, I believe what's it called? Oh man, name escapes me now. War Thunder, there we go, God. War Thunder also had introduced its ground forces, so I was also participating in the closed beta for the ground forces. So had a few things going on, and Armored Warfare just sort of fell to the back burner. Another thing is, I really do enjoy playing Armored Warfare with someone. So I had mentioned in a few videos ago that Rommel had gotten himself a new computer, which meant that we were able to play a whole lot more games together now than we could before, because his old piece of crap was a piece of crap. So I actually enjoy playing with Rommel. Rommel plays it often enough so I can jump in and play a few battles with him. Now today, unfortunately, we don't have any battles with Rommel. This is because I thought I had recorded the session last night, but apparently I did not. Yeah. Don't know how I pulled that one off, but whatever. So I had to jump in and play a few battles quickly today. Now, luckily, it's pretty much guaranteed victory every time. I mean, unless something tragic happens, you can count on getting a victory every time. I haven't put any sort of money into the game, and frankly, I don't really intend on putting any money into the game. I've been reading a lot of reviews as of late on Armored Warfare, and it's a multi-edged or a multi-sided problem, it seems, with regards to North American server and the population on the server. There's just not a whole lot of people there, and then people are wondering why, and I myself was wondering why, and I had to do a bit of digging around to figure it out, because at first I did some initial looking, and everything said, oh, it was too pay to win. And then I was talking to someone in the clan, which, it was Garrett, actually. Garrett raised some interesting questions about, why is it pay to win? Prove that it's pay to win type thing. And I tried to go, and that's initially what I was trying to research. I should have definitely looked into that, and I did. And that's not really the issue. Pay to win isn't an issue. One of the issues is a lot of people feel let down by Armored Warfare in that they paid real money to buy certain premium tanks, and then they make a game, and then they come out and make some changes in a patch where the premium tanks basically become all useless at such low tier, and so that's one of the issues that people had. Another thing apparently that was highly controversial was the introduction of the tier 9 and tier 10 tanks in this game. Apparently that just destroyed high tier gameplay, and you can see it. I mean, I never ever see more than maybe 3 or 4 people in a tier 10 or tier 9 sitting in queue waiting, and I wonder how long those people have to wait in order to get into a battle. I myself, I'm only at tier 5, only in the tier 5 bracket, and because, I haven't been putting money into it, the grind is slow, but it's also casual, right? I don't have any, at this point in time, I guess I should say, no real intentions on putting a whole bunch of work into, or a whole bunch of time into the game, right? Devoting a lot of time to it. Like I say, it's just a distraction from chips. Something to do that's different. Now, I also did try recently again World of Tanks. I actually have been playing World of Tanks since the first days of closed beta. I remember those days very well, and highly invested into tanks, actually. But it just... I just didn't enjoy it anymore, and I got got angry with myself for putting so much money into tanks, that when I started up with ships, one of my main reasons why with ships I fully intend to grind things through is in tanks I didn't. In tanks I had millions, I still do have millions of free experience. Just throw a bit of money at the game and there you go, brand new tier 10 tank. It didn't really work out very well, because then, right, you have no idea how to play it. You learn how to play it, but then I stopped playing the game, and it's just a waste of money. So that's one of the reasons too why I'm not putting a whole lot of money into ships. Trying to be as frugal as possible with it, I suppose. Not going out and getting every premium ship that comes off the line. But anyway, back to Armored Warfare. I do enjoy Armored Warfare more than I enjoy World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a different beast of its own. I played a few battles recently, didn't really enjoy it, and it could be too that, with Armored Warfare where it's PvE like this, you get this sort of nice casualness to it. It's not as difficult as actually playing against players. You can it's much more forgiving. There are 3 different difficulties for PvE missions rather. There's easy, medium, and hard. All the replays we're taking a look at today were played on medium. Hard only unlocks when you get to tier 5, and as well I think there's something else that unlocks when you get to tier 5. Can't quite remember it at this point in time. But I've been enjoying Armored Warfare, like I say. I recently unlocked this tank destroyer we're looking at now. It's a French tank destroyer, the ERC-90F4. This is a little French armored car with a nice 90mm on it. In fact, I really do enjoy this tank. Just recently got it. Armored Warfare also has some other nice things to it. I really like the base function that you have when you're in your garage, I suppose, rather than the port. When you're in the garage, it's nice, you have these buildings. You can upgrade the buildings based on raw material that you collect on a daily basis. The buildings, once they upgrade, will provide just flat out bonuses, say, to your credit earnings, your XP earnings, your free XP earnings, those sorts of things, which is nice. Another little flavor. The crew, the crew stuff, like your commander abilities and crew abilities, I think it needs a little work, just because I find it so quick. You can have up to a tier 5 commander, and to get up to, or level 5 commander, say, and get up to that level 5 commander is really not that hard, especially considering they have these bonuses, these daily login bonuses as well now. It must be to attract new people. Every day you get a daily login bonus, and on the 7th day I think you get 50 gold or something. So essentially you make 50 gold in the game every 7 days, which isn't too bad as long as you log in once a day. But they also give away like crates at the end of each battle for your performance. You don't always get one, but if you do perform quite well in a battle, you're going to get one at the end, and it varies on prestige, I guess. So you have like your normal steel crates, and then there's it works its way all up like silver, gold, and platinum or something like that. it is interesting, and I like that they have this, and it makes the progression a little faster anyway when you are on the standard account, because I'm able to use, like, put a 12-hour bonus on my account for extra credits or extra experience, those sorts of things. Now, another nice thing too here in Armored Warfare that I enjoy is all the vehicles that you see. We see three today. The first one actually was it's called a Starship. I love that tank just because it looks so amazing. But anyway, you can get retrofit for your vehicle. So you're researching your vehicle, right? You're moving along the progression tree in that vehicle, and you get it to 50% or renowned status, and at that point in time you unlock certain vehicles have special retrofits that you can unlock. You unlock it, and then that retrofit, say an armor retrofit, can then be added to basically any tank you own, as long as it has the available armor retro slot available. Now, you do have to pay money for it, but it's a one-time shot. It's much like adding modules to your ships that we have in World of Warships, except they're not all the same, and you can only unlock certain modules if you use certain type of vehicles. You have different sorts of commanders that you can unlock as well, based on the vehicles that you have researched and gone through. So it's interesting, there's a bit of flavor there, and I like it. It's different. Plus the game looks amazing, right? I mean, working through these replays here, I mean, this looks amazing. There's nothing wrong with the graphics at all, and again, very surprised that there aren't a lot of people playing, because when I guess I really started playing Armored Warfare more, maybe 2 weeks ago, probably around there. When I first started playing, I was so surprised to see no one playing. Like, look at this game. This is a great game, but there is no one here. And again, I mean, that brings it back to some of the issues. Now, one of the biggest, issues, that I uncovered too, whether or not it's true, you remember, this is all hearsay and speculation, so take it as you will, was that the developing company still considers the game to be in open beta, therefore, still under development, still work in progress. Whereas the community really looks at the game, and, well, maybe not the community, but as a non-partial observer, just looking at the game, would consider this full release. You have full tech trees, you have premium vehicles, you have stuff on for sale, like, you would consider this full release, but it's not, according to the game developers, which creates some friction between players and the developers, right? Because the developers, obviously, I mean, the developers have the prerogative to change the game at any point in time, regardless of whether it's, full release, open beta, or whatever. But because it's an open beta, things do still get tweaked around a lot, and, people just maybe forget about this. I'm not 100% sure, but this has aggravated a lot of people. The final thing, too, about the community and where the player base has gone, it's hilarious because people will say, and I read reviews about the game and whatnot, and they say it's a great game, fantastic, have a lot of fun, but it's the best game that no one ever plays. Like, it's, you're talking, it's like, oh, I was playing this game, Armored Warfare, right? You're talking to your friends, and your friends are like, no, never heard of it. Not surprised, right? And because they never heard of it, they don't really want to play because, they're busy with other games, and it's a shame. I mean, other things have been suggested as well, where because the player base is small and it's the summer, there's a lot of people off on summer holidays, and the community will come back and that sort of thing. There has been a release of a number of really good games in the past 3 to 4 months, which can attribute to the loss of certain numbers within the player base. So there's these things to take into account here as well. But still, enjoying the game thus far. I do really enjoy as well being able to cruise around in some of these modern vehicles as well, right? We've had World War II vintage stuff in gaming around for quite some time, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. It's amazing. But there's not a whole lot of modern stuff in terms of like the format, like this sort of, you know, PvE, PvP type format out there, at least, you know, that's really focused on it. Because you do have like your battlefields and your armas and stuff like that that does have modern weaponry in it and whatnot, but in that it's more about, you know, you're a soldier in control of these vehicles and whatnot. Here it's kind of like you are the vehicle, right? So there's that sort of distinction. But it's nice, you know, to cruise around these vehicles. I can't wait to get into the next tank destroyer here. It's I forget what it's called, Centaur maybe, but I can't wait to get into that thing. I mean, that's going to be amazing. We can see an M60 off in the distance. I mean, we saw the Starship. The Starship is cool. I don't know if you noticed when it was up earlier, but it does have two different types of ammo. There's the heat round, which are the rounds actually that I'm firing right now in my ERC here, but it can also, out of the main barrel of the gun, fire tow missiles, which is awesome. Anti-tank missiles are great. There is a tank in the game called a Swing Fire at tier 4, and this tank exclusively has anti-tank missiles on it, and they are they follow an arc trajectory, which means you can shoot enemies that are hiding behind hills or hiding behind a corner or something like that. You have that control, right? A little bit of guidance there on the missiles as well to be able to take down those enemies. So it's really awesome, and I really want to be able to use some of this in practice in a PvP setting, but it's just not, the people just aren't there apparently, which is unfortunate. But you know, I think the PvP too is going to add a whole different flavor for me as well. Whether or not I enjoy it, I don't know, but right now having a whole bunch of fun in the PvE format. PvE though can get quite boring at times. if you want to, at least I can't, you know, I can't just sit down and play Armored Warfare all day like I could with ships, because it's always the same thing. You know, by the time you're in your, I don't know, 4th or 5th match, each match, as we can see here, lasts about 5-10 minutes. You know, as you get into that 4th or 5th match, right, it's the same thing over and over, basically, just on a different map. And usually what it devolves down to is how quickly can you kill the enemy tanks. They basically always do spawn in the same relative location, so it's fairly easy to anticipate where the next wave of enemies will come from. You can set yourself up and just start owning them. Now, good and bad. I mean, the good thing to that is obviously it's great stress relief too when you're just tired of playing with PvP all day. Now, I know that ships also has a co-op function, and you know, there's that function in the game, and you can go and co-op, and basically the same thing. But at least in this, with Armored Warfare's PvE system, it is a lot more objective based, right? Like you can see on the maps that we've been playing on here, we definitely have a primary objective. In this case, you know, it's to take control of the port. We have secondary objectives, right? Destroy the SAM sites. Sometimes, you know, that's going to get updated as the battle progresses along. I really enjoy the mechanics of this game. It makes a lot more sense when shots bounce, or when a shot goes in and it doesn't do as much damage, right? It's just more visual. It'll tell you the ricochet angle. It'll tell you that you over-penetrated. So there's that working here as well. I mean, there's a whole difference in arty that you have in Armored Warfare as compared to World of Tanks. I really don't like comparing it, I suppose, to World of Tanks. But it just makes it a little different. Now, in this battle, in the old T-72, really thrilled to get the old T-72. You know, I'm going to go in, well, as far up as I can, I guess, or want to, on the Russian main battle tank line. Just because, you know, we did see some War Game Red Dragon videos that I had put up on the channel. There were just a few of them. But playing that game a lot, you know, and I usually do play as the Red 4. I do use and utilize a lot of Russian tanks, and it's great to finally be able to play one of these tanks. So, you know, I'm really excited for that T90 now. At least at this tier 5, where the T-72 is now, I don't have an anti-tank missile on the tank, which I really want, because this is one of the main reasons why I enjoy the Russian tanks so much in Wargame Red Dragon, because their anti-tank missiles are amazing that the main battle tanks get. Maybe it has it in the later tiers. I'm not 100% sure. I think I might have went and looked and then got distracted and never went back to it. So that might happen. I'm not sure. But if they do get it, I mean, that's going to be amazing. I mean, on the flip side to that as well, I mean, you definitely do get your Abram tanks here as well, the M1A1 and its variants all the way up. You definitely do get the Challengers as well, which is fantastic. I have a well, I guess the different lines, right? You got your you have your main battle tanks. You've got your infantry fighting vehicles, your armored fighting vehicles, your light tanks. There is artillery in the game. You know, it's pretty diverse. There is reports, at least you know, the gaming developing company here does put out active reports about, you know, different tanks that are in development and whatnot. So there's that. I mean, if this game is not on your radar, it probably should be. At least, you know, give it a shot. It's free. You get to play if you've never logged in before and you've never played it, you do get a chance to play some training missions, and, you know, basically just gives you free experience and money and whatnot that you can use. And I believe at the end of it you get enough gold to buy a day of premium, which is interesting. I just kept my gold. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I got the 200 gold for playing, or for finishing the tutorial missions, and then 50 gold, like I say, a week. So I'm up to 300 gold, and I don't know, save it up, I guess. I'm in no real rush, right? I'm having fun with the game as it is, and it's great. It's well polished, I thought. Here's an interesting tank as well that I got to fight at. The main battle tank 70. I believe that this was like historically was a conglomeration between an American and a German tank. Correct me if I'm wrong. Definitely American. I thought there was some German influence in this tank here as well, but whatever. Did a bunch of damage to me, but no big deal. I mean, the Allies are around here as well. But you can really see, or maybe you got the sense here throughout today's video, that, you know, in the PvP, like I had mentioned, it is about chasing down the enemies, seeing how many kills you can get as quickly as you possibly can. Because at the end of the day, too, you know, if you do want to progress along, and I do want to progress along just because I want to try out different tanks and whatnot, you know, you definitely do want to get as many kills as you possibly can, because it does equate to experience. Now, mechanically, you know, obviously you get credited experience and, you know, credits, I suppose, for the damage you do each shot, right? Like, that's your damage, that's it. But if you do the majority of the damage and get the kill, you get more experience and credits out of that, as my understanding of the mechanics at this point. So there's that as well. I mean, definitely always trying to push into it and get as much as I can. But that also does bring up, you know, another point that was listed as one of the many reasons as to why Armored Warfare maybe isn't as popular as it should be, is that in PvP, it's very conducive to main battle tank gameplay. There's people have argued no real point in taking any other tank class in this game. Now, I would argue that, because I play the other classes and I really enjoy them. You know, I don't have any problems fighting main battle tanks in like an AMX 10P, for example. But also you got to keep in mind too that, you know, because it's on the medium difficulty, the damage that the enemies are doing to you is, you know, also reduced as well, right? So you're not receiving full damage values here for the damage that they're doing, and it allows you to stay alive longer in those smaller, more lightly armored tanks. So there's that as well. So you know, throughout the video we did throw out a number of reasons that were listed as to why the game isn't going very well, or isn't very popular, to say, because it is going well. I thought this was quite fun, and like I say, I've been playing it for the last 2 weeks or so and just enjoying my time. Play a few battles in ships that go pretty crappily, and instead of just like walking away from the computer for the evening or whatnot, I can jump over to Armored Warfare, play a few battles over here, and then hop back into ships, because I stress out, well, not stress out, sorry, wind down, de-stress over here in Armored Warfare, which is interesting. Not too bad at all. But anyway, I wanted to get the video up, a video up about Armored Warfare, see what you guys thought. see what you guys thought. I mean, the gameplay, in terms of commentary on what's going on, I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of strategical analysis because we're fighting bots, and it's pretty straightforward. I mean, at least I assume it's straightforward, but it's still fun to mess around with, right? And it would be fun. At least I'd be open to putting up a video now and then on Armored Warfare if you guys enjoy what you see here. We're also, I didn't mention it too much in this video, but War Thunder. We are going to be taking a look at War Thunder in the upcoming days as well. I think we're going to take a look at some War Thunder ground forces. My own personal preference is War Thunder ground forces, both over both Armored Warfare and World of Tanks, just because I love the realistic gameplay that War Thunder offers. But we will take a look at that as well in the upcoming days, some of the ground forces, and maybe we'll roll out a few planes. I may have spent some time in War Thunder before my time in ships, maybe, so I may have a few things sitting over there that we might want to take a look at, but that'll come up in the next few days here as well. Before the video finishes off here, just while you can see we're getting the victory here as well, you'll notice too, like, no one in any of these replays is really quick to get any of the caps. Even though I'm in the cap right now, it's just coincidence, I'm not really going to stay here. This is because if you do not cap, then the maximum number of enemies will spawn and you will get the maximum number of chance to kill them and gain yourself experience and credit. So that's what's taking place here while the battle is ending. Anyway, like I said, just wanted to get up an Armored Warfare video, put it out there, see what you guys thought. Where the channel is growing, it is important that we start taking a look at other things. I have been working and thinking about Hearts of Iron, and I've actually been thinking about doing the Quick War Germany game that I've been talking about, and I played one through myself, but actually playing it through on the channel just to show that off. Because, some people on the channel have mentioned, yeah, they definitely do like Hearts of Iron, but maybe they would enjoy, if the battles were happening a little faster, or, if we didn't have to wait years on end to build one thing up before it could attack and that stuff. And I think the Germany Quick War might happen. But yeah, just branching out on the channel, I suppose. Anyway. That is it for today's video. Do let me know what you guys think about today's video and Armored Warfare in the comment section below. I mean, if you guys enjoy it, we will definitely continue and get, put up a video of Armored Warfare every now and then. At this point in time, I don't think it's going to replace our, well, it's not ever going to replace our ship content, but it's not going to interrupt the normal ship service. I actually had things to do today, so couldn't get the ship video out, and I just got home and I really wanted to get this video out rather. So there's that as well. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.